Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up this content talking about how we define religion. So this is the textbook definition of religion, and it's a really good one. So taking a look at it, we'll look at it as a whole, and then we'll go back and look at some different aspects of it. Religion is a complex set of reasonably interwoven beliefs, behaviors, and experiences rooted in some notion of transmundane ultimate being. So let's look at some key words in this definition. A complex set. So what does that mean? In other words, it's not simple. A lot of people, when they think about religion, they tend to, in essence, water it down to make it simple to understand, but it's not. And when we define religion, we have to acknowledge this, that it's complex. It's a complex set of reasonably interwoven. So when we think about that interwoven, what does that mean? If we think about weaving, right? That's when we take different threads and put them together in such a way that those threads comprise a fabric. You know, it could be a garment, or it could be a carpet or a tapestry. And then those threads, which once upon a time were able to stand all by themselves, now are part of a single thing. That it's, that it's hard to tease them apart. And what are these different things? Beliefs, behaviors, experiences. Okay? Beliefs, of course, that's easy. Those are things we believe in. Behaviors, those are things we do. And experiences, those are things we have done. Okay? So these are the things that are being interwoven. Things we believe, things we do, and things we have done, rooted in some notion of transmundane ultimate being. And I like the word transmundane because if we look at it, we see the root word as mundane. And a lot of people think that that means boring. Doesn't necessarily mean boring. It more so means everyday. But then when we put the prefix trans in front of it, we see the transmundane means the quality of being beyond the normal world. In other words, there's nothing ordinary about religion. Religion is extraordinary. It's extraordinary. So, in some notion of transmundane ultimate being. Now, before we talk about ultimate being, let's first talk about the word ultimate. And the way that I like to explain ultimate is in terms of football. A lot of people, when they first start playing football, they first start playing pee-wee football. But pee-wee football is not the ultimate in football. What follows that? Well, middle school football. So you could play middle school football, but that's not the ultimate in football. After that, there's high school. You could play high school football, make it to the playoffs, and win at state. But that's not the ultimate. Why? Because there's college, right? So then you could make it to the college football playoff and win the national championship, but that's not the ultimate in football because there's the NFL. And then there's the playoffs in the NFL, and then you'd have to win the Super Bowl, and then that's the ultimate. So when we talk about ultimate being, it is that which nothing is greater. Right? So you could think of this in terms of human relationships. For example, me, I'm a college instructor, but I'm not the ultimate, right? I have a dean, and she is my superior, but above her there's the vice president, and above him there's the college president. So in terms of the hierarchy here at Northeastern Technical College, the ultimate would be the college president, but even he is governed by the board, and even the board is governed by state agencies, and state agencies are even governed by federal agencies. Wow. So when we think about ultimate, there's all these different levels of hierarchy. But that ultimate being, many people refer to it as God, and there is nothing greater than God. So now, next slide. Another way we can approach define religion is in terms of classifying and dividing different religions to help us understand this. So, we can divide religions as far as tribal or open. Now, what is a tribal religion? A tribal religion is a religion you are born into. It is based upon birth. The examples? Hinduism and Judaism. So if your mother is Hindu, the second you leave the womb, you are a Hindu. You might not want to be a Hindu, but you are. The same thing for Judaism. Now, different than tribal faiths are what we classify, what we term open religions. So what is an open religion? An open religion is one in which it is based upon choice. In other words, the participant decides whether or not he or she wants to be part of that faith. And the examples of open religions are Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. Okay, so to use a good example for open that many people are familiar with would be within Christianity. You're not born a Christian. You have to, out of your, it's a conscious decision, you have to choose to be baptized and become a Christian. It's, it can't be done without your own effort, without your own choice. Now, what's interesting here, if you were born into a tribal faith and then adopt and convert to an open faith, then you become hyphenated. For example, if you're born Jewish and then you convert to Buddhism, then you are a Jewish-Buddhist. And a lot of people wonder, why does the Jewish part not go away? And the reason being is that with tribal faiths, you're born into it, and whether you want to scrub it away, delete it, you can't. It's always going to be there. So, wow. Now taking a look at the last slide, self-check, you should be able to not just regurgitate the definition for all these terms, but be able to intelligently discuss them. That reduction definitions are too narrow, functional equivalent are too broad. Be familiar with the etymology of the word religion, the textbook definition of the word religion, which is really good. What does transmundane mean? What's a tribal religion? What are some examples? What's an open religion? And what are some examples? So I'm really excited as we get started here with our look into religion. So, if there's any questions or comments, anything I can help with, please feel free to let me know. Hope everyone is doing well. And as always, be well, do good work, and keep in touch.